I demand all of your gratitude. That was really cringy, and that's why I did it, because I have no shame. We all know who I was trying to mimic, and it was poorly done. I love Ludwig Kaiser. I just wanted to open up with that out of nowhere. I just enjoyed my night. There's always going to be ups and downs, sometimes more ups than downs, sometimes more downs than ups. Not really. I'm a pretty positive kind of guy. Link down below, as always, to credit WWE for piecing this together. This one I wasn't able to find an actual video highlight of it. You'll have to go to their website and just see. Anyways, let's get on with it. So we opened up the show with a banger. Right away, no waiting, WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens in this one was absolutely phenomenal. First time in... I don't always want to refer to my cheat sheet. I think it was the first time in 7 years that KO could have won a championship. However, it's been 8 years since he's held the Universal Championship, I think. The red one. The one that Triple H gave him. During the match, I wanted to make a mention of something because there's an etiquette, and I'm not saying Kevin Owens broke it. There's this thing where when your opponent comes in the ring, you get the fuck out. But he just sat on the turnbuckle, which is, I'm assuming, fine. Unless it's been spoken about prior, but I have heard of superstars throughout different promotions, not personally, but through like Reddit and interviews and stuff, where that's their biggest pet peeve, is if somebody just doesn't get the hell out of the ring for that moment that they have to come in and be introduced. So I thought that was a little interesting. I don't know why I'm harping on it. It was a crazy match. KO, what was really awesome about this, I think it's the first time in history where he could have easily had just, like, not cheated, but just used a scenario to his advantage, and he just didn't do it. He didn't clip him behind the knee when it buckled. He didn't power bomb him to really hurt him because he wanted to wrestle Cody. He didn't want to, like, physically brutalize him and dig deep. That's what would have been required for him to have won the match, but instead he won something different from a storytelling perspective. Cody Rhodes is going to watch that back, just like when it looked like KO was going to smack him in the head there last week with the belt, and he'll see that he was going to go for it. He only kicked him once in the knee, and then he didn't just keep going for it. And ultimately they shook hands. There was no cheap shots, nothing. He didn't go rogue, and I'm glad he didn't, because I argued it before that he doesn't need to go heel to tell a story. These are two friends. One's a champion. That friend gives the other friend an opportunity and says they legitimately deserved it. Kevin Owens not feeling deserving, but he went all out, and it was just a great match. They hugged, and it was just an amazing start. My arms are easily that big. Well, they're bigger. They're just not quite as defined as that. Now, my body fat would have to be at like 0.01%. Anyhow, Jade Cargill and Bianca versus Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. The Women's Tag Team Championship. This is a really nice match. Really enjoyed it. And I'm glad that... Oh, they are officially called... Yeah, I thought it was more of a nickname, I'm just being honest. I thought the whole Unholy Union was just like a bit of a nickname, because they usually are just referred to as Alba Fire, Isla Dawn. But they lost. I didn't mind them at first. They're so annoying. They are really good in the ring. However, I really, really like Jade and Bianca Belair as a team. I really do. They're two powerhouses. They're good. It's fun. I enjoyed myself with this. There you go. Looks good. Oh boy. that I have too much to say about this one. Or maybe just a tiny little bit. CM Punk defeats Drew McIntyre in the strap match, gets his bracelet back. Drew was screaming to break the hold. That had me in tears. That could be a meme. Break the hold, tap, tap, tap. Yeah. It was pretty funny because CM Punk got him in the sharpshooter, and it's a strap match. There's no tapping out whatsoever. And then Punk gets his bracelet. Like I said, he wins the match officially for a one-on-one. If I'm not mistaken, and I didn't incorrectly hear what Michael Cole was saying, first win in a WWE ring in over a decade. A whopping 10 and a half years. It's pretty significant. Overall, just the match itself was great. It was brutal, a lot of whipping. You're not faking that. It's scripted. Huge difference. This is sort of the epitome of showing you that you still got to be a little bit tough, right? I mean, you try and get slapped by anybody. I don't care who it is. It is not gonna tickle. And on bare skin at that. Now, it would hurt, not to downplay it. It would hurt a lot more if it was a whip. The fact that it's wider will actually disperse energy a lot more. But don't get it twisted. Getting whipped by a leather stuff. And yes, I have tried it. And it stings. And after a while, there is like a weird element of like you're better able to handle it. But it doesn't feel any better. Just your reaction to it, if that makes any sense, gets better. So I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of slapped each other around prior to kind of warm up, in all seriousness. Yeah, that just overall, like I said, this was a fun night. Then we had Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley versus Dirty Daddy Dom Dom. That's what I'm calling him from now on. Dirty Daddy Dom Dom. The 4 Ds. I wanted to make a mention that Dominic Mysterio was chewing gum. He does that a lot, but while he was wrestling, man, swallowing gum is disgusting. You could choke on that shit. Or was that fake gum? Was he just pretending to chew? No, in all seriousness, though, I don't know. I mean, even Mr. Perfect, when he'd come out to the ring, he'd spit it out and slap it. And he knew. Wasn't good to do. Cole slips and calls J.D. McDonough J.D. McDumma. Oh, boy. Judgment Day, of course, came out. Just an overall great all-out brawl. But the Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, pick up the victory. And it was just very entertaining, like I said. Really, really enjoyed myself with this. And then, wow, I feel like we're almost done. That look right there. Oh, boy. I would click the play button quickly just so we could see his face without the plus size. Like, that may have to be my my thumbnail. That's hilarious. Dom is such a hard worker, though, honestly. I know he gets shat on a lot, but, you know, with that mustache, the hair, really, really starting to look like Eddie Guerrero big time. And they're not even related. Yeah. Oh, boy. And then this was good. I mean, it could have gone either way. I had a feeling it wasn't going to go the way that I was maybe kind of hoping it was going to go. I knew that this was going to be more for the long haul, to set up for something bigger. Randy Orton was not in enemy territory like people were saying. Don't forget, Gunther, the Ringenal, is from Vienna, Austria. Ludwig Kaiser is from Germany. So he's the actual hometown hero. But, it's all in that part of the world. So Gunther essentially is more of a hometown hero, if you will, than, say, somebody like Randy Orton. But the crowd was enjoying them both equally, as they should. And what was nice about this is Charles Robinson, who officiated this match and thousands of others before it, allowed a lot of stuff to happen. Very slow on the 10 counts of counting at all. I wasn't even sure if it was like a no DQ match or something like that. Is this Extreme Rules? Orton ended up passing out, which is fine because he didn't tap. Because he's Orton. He's the apex predator. He doesn't tap out. But yeah, it was fine. And Ludwig Kaiser introduced him, which I can't replicate properly. That was just cool. And the fact that it went back to that thing I really appreciate. There was no outside interference. There was no distractions. Nothing. Nothing. As it should be. Very rarely will him and Ludwig Kaiserbun get in the ring or do something they shouldn't be doing and acting all goosey. A lot of respect for that. And in a rare display of respect, Gunther offered a handshake to Randy Orton, who he accepted. That was it. There's no funny business, just like the whole Cody Rhodes thing and Kevin Owens. Not everything always has to turn into something. And that was just great. It still made Randy Orton look strong. Didn't make him look weak at all. I don't know if he's ever going to recapture another belt. Look at Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens is very capable. A lot of people are very capable of being champions. There's only so many championship belts. Speaking of which, we should have a little bit more like a mid-card title for the women. We're not getting it, are we? But we should. We absolutely should. Like, oh my God. Because with the men, you have, the top championship. Then you have like Intercontinental US Championship, right? You got the tag championships. But for the women, it's like women heavyweight, tag, that's it. Yeah. So definitely, I'm not saying we need another two, but definitely like another sort of like women's Intercontinental. I don't know what you'd want to call it. But I think that would be pretty neat. For sure. Because that was in response to Karrion Kross on Twitter stating that he believes Extreme Tournament should happen to decipher who will win the first Extreme Championship title. Basically the Hardcore Championship, but with maybe slightly different rules. You still have your pinfall, your submission, or knockout. Maybe pinfall anywhere. I mean, yeah, essentially, it's kind of bringing that back. I missed that, and the reason I said that I'm on board for this is really simple. I find, in my opinion, when it's just kept in the middle of the ring, the story that you tell, the acrobatics that you do in that ring, like when you're Logan Paul, yeah, you could tell the whole story, sure. But overall, I do feel that if you can use your entire environment to your advantage, that can just make for a much more compelling, oh my God, holy shitballs kind of moment. And if we look back at, I have to think quickly, Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, their match, that was absolutely magical for me. Like that, wow. In the ring, out of the ring, backstage, in the parking lot, off the goddamn real fence, onto a car. And that doesn't always have to be a car involved and all that kind of shit. But I just find like it's more exhilarating overall. So for me to have one championship, just one, that allows the rules to really not kind of exist, I like the idea of that. Not before the women get a mid-card title, though. Okay? I also don't want to lather the company with too many belts. Oh, and what I would like as well is to have cross brand with that hardcore or whatever it would be called, Extreme Champion title. So you have the tournament, you have the winner, whatever. But on the other brand, what you could have, first of all, you'd have a tournament from both brands so that both can equally get a shot at it. Even though the outcome's scripted, that's not the point. They're still involved. And then maybe every so often, maybe once a month, maybe every couple of months, I don't know, just kind of brainstorming here, have a tournament, but the tournament is mixed between Raw and SmackDown. And then the winner goes on maybe to like a PLE or just like a regular event, and they can compete so that basically the belt can kind of bounce around back and forth. I don't know, just talking out loud. Not saying it's a good idea, okay? Hey, Karrion Kross brought it up. Take it up with him if you don't like his idea. I'm just kind of elaborating on top of it, adding some nonsense to it. So as always, I don't really have much else to say. I've said this before. Many have said this before. Oh, you're always complaining. You're never happy. No, I'm happy. I'm fine. 5 matches is a little too little. It tells a nice story. You're able to have deeper stories when there's less of them. But instead of 5, I would have liked 7. Not 8, 7. Lucky 7. I feel like just an extra couple matches would be kind of cool. There's a lot of people that did not wrestle on this night that could have and had an interesting whatever. Saying. So there you have it. Thumbs up as always if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. If you didn't like the video, thumbs down. I'll bend it in half. I'll twist it. And I'll make sure that you get that with your thumb bent behind her knee, like his hand is, and it gets broken off. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, naturally, that would be great. If not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. Let me know down below what you thought of this event. Is 5 a good number of matches? Should there be 6, 7? What's your take on that? And, yeah, because like I said, we saw nothing with the Bloodline, like, at all. No Roman Reigns, no Solo Sikoa, just, like, nothing. This could have been an opportunity to potentially build a little something, or, I don't know. Let me know. Bye for now.